Hey, what's up, YouTube? Thought I should probably stop saying "what's good, YouTube," because that's definitely ripping off Chris Jones. Not intentionally, that's just what I tend to say. So welcome to my video. This is Elliot from Neanderthal Fitness. This video is all about planning a badass workout routine. Now, we all know that there are some great workout routines out there on the internet that you can just pick up and you don't really have to think about it. You can just do that routine. And that's great if that's what you want to do. However, a lot of people don't want to do that. Some people want to come up with their own workout routine so that they can say, yeah, look at my great big muscles that I made with a plan that I generated. So we're going to talk about creating that plan. So I'm going to jump right in and say that the most important, or the first aspect of making a plan, is deciding what your plan's outcome will be. So what response are you trying to elicit from your body by doing this workout plan? So one of the major rules of fitness is the rule of specificity, which essentially means that there has to be a specific demand put on the body to create a specific response to that demand. Now, what that means is if you want to deadlift 500 pounds, your workout routine is going to look a lot different to someone who wants to have a big chest and big biceps. You have to design your routine to achieve the goal that you want. So let's just jump from there and assume you know what you want, because that's something you need to figure out on your own. So you've decided what you want to do. The next step is that you need to decide between a split and a whole body routine. Now, I know what you're all expecting me to say here, and I'm going to throw the textbook out the window and say the goddamn opposite to everyone else on YouTube, and I don't care who I piss off by doing so. Everyone will say a whole body routine is best, and a whole body routine heralds the best results. I have done both extensively, and I can tell you from my own humble experience that doing a split routine will inevitably net you greater muscle gain results than doing a whole body approach. Now, it's really quite simple. When you think about it, it makes sense. If you do more, you will gain more, you will achieve more. So saying to work out 3 times versus working out 6 times and you'll get better results is the same as saying if you study for an exam just 3 times a week, you'll get a better grade than someone who studies every night of the week or 6 nights of the week. It's just not factually accurate. This throws back a lot to a lot of the myths that are banded around that nutrition is 90% of your results, your body composition. If that was the case, then all you'd have to do is eat healthy and then go sit on your nice comfy sofa and you'd get a 6-pack and you'd get giant pecs and big biceps. That's not the case. You need to stimulate yourself to grow. If we didn't, we wouldn't be that interested in working out. So it's really simple. Work out more, get more. In my experience, said experience twice, so close together. In my experience, when I did a split routine versus a whole body routine, I gained weight quicker, I built bigger muscles, and I just got better results through and through. That is only my experience, so I can't say it will work for everyone. That's my disclaimer, but I highly suggest you give it a go. My other bit of evidence would be that everyone with a great physique, whether it's a fitness YouTube guru or a Mr. Olympia, they will all say, man, whole body routines are the best. If I could go back to the beginning and do whole body routines, I would. Why would you do that? You've just said you've been doing split routines and you have one of the best bodies out there, i.e. split routines work. So the reason I would choose between a split routine versus a whole body routine is that time constraints. If you have a busy social life that you don't want to give up, if you don't feel motivated enough to go to the gym 6 days a week, do a split, whether that be do a whole body, whether that be 2 days a week, 3 days a week is the most common, or even 1 day a week. If that's all you're prepared to put into the gym, then work your whole body on those days with rest days in between, and you will get better results from doing that over 6 to 12 months or longer than you will if you don't have the motivation and you plan to do 6 days a week but you only carry it on for 3 weeks. Obviously, the longer term change to your life is going to make a bigger impact on your physique. So that is what's best for you. If you have the motivation, you have the time, do a split routine. Absolutely, in my opinion. Now, once you've decided on the split, that to do a split rather, you need to decide on what your split will be. My personal preference is, what I normally do is chest and back, legs, and then arms and shoulders, and I will then repeat that, so I'll do 6 days. That's when I'm trying to bulk up and gain muscle, and that worked for me best in the past. However, there's no one size fits all. You can also do a push-pull split where you do all your pushing exercises like bench press, upright row, squats, etc. on one day, and then you do all of your pulling exercises on the other day, so things like leg curls, bent over row, pull-ups, etc. You can also do, another popular one is back and biceps, chest and triceps, legs and shoulders. Essentially, the only important thing when coming up with this split is that you make sure that there isn't too much overlap. So if you work your chest on a Monday, and then you work your arms on a Tuesday and your shoulders on a Wednesday, your triceps work as a synergist in both the shoulder and the chest workout. So they're going to work out 3 days in a row, no rest. It's not going to grow. So the only thing to keep in mind when designing your split is pick what works for you, but make sure that if you do biceps one day, you rest biceps the next day. Simple. If you're doing a whole body workout, obviously work out your whole body and then take a whole day off. I would say the maximum number of days to do regardless of your split is 6, because that was 5, but 6, because although your muscles rest on the days that you're working other muscles, your central nervous system gets battered by the repeated workload, so that needs a day off to rest. If you're doing power or strength work where you're working with particularly heavy poundages or explosive moves, then I would suggest 2 days off probably, or more. I don't have too much experience in the sport specific side of this just yet, but that batters your central nervous system more than hypertrophy work. So you've selected your split, you've decided when you're going to rest and when you're going to work. So the next obvious thing is to select your exercises. This comes down to personal preference. Make sure that you're not a dick and you work every muscle group. If you work your upper body, work your lower body. The way that I normally try and remember when working out a program is have I worked everything, is to literally split the body down from the top. So you say shoulders, assuming you include traps in shoulders, or traps will be shoulders or back, but essentially shoulders, biceps, triceps, abs, quads, hamstrings, calves, forearms, and glutes. Perhaps that's really included in your hamstrings, well, up the back of your leg, although you'd work it with your quads. So yeah, just kind of give yourself a pat down and say, what are all the major muscle groups? Have I got a workout and exercise geared for them? If yes, you've got it good. I'm not going to tell you have to squat, because if you prefer the leg press, do the leg press. A lot of people say barbell exercises are superior to dumbbell, but again, if you prefer the dumbbell variant, do that, because enjoying an exercise will spur you on to do better at the exercise and come back to do the exercise more often, heralding more better results over time. So if you prefer dumbbell bench press to barbell bench press, but everyone says, hey, you're a pussy because you're doing dumbbell bench press, no fucking listen, go do dumbbell bench press, and when they give up on the barbell bench press in 6 weeks and you carry on for 6 months, you'll have a damn sight better chest than them. I'm hurrying this up because I'm getting to the high end of the length of the video now, so I apologise for talking so fast, but rep ranges, I am going to tell you there is a sweet spot with rep ranges. If your sole goal is hypertrophy and puffy, big, well, not necessarily puffy, but you want to make bigger muscles, and you're just looking for looks, not for sports ability or strength, then there is definitely that sweet spot. Plan your reps for all of your exercises, between 8 to 12 repetitions. For legs, I would hasten to add, legs are a big muscle group, so you can go up to 16 repetitions and still be in the hypertrophy rep range, is generally an accepted piece of advice. So let me just explain the reps to you briefly, because there's a lot of talk about functional fitness lately, which is great because functional fitness is important, but you have to be specific. Specificity is important, as I said earlier. So if your sole reason for going to the gym is to look good and get bigger muscles, there is no fucking point lifting to your 1 rep max, because you simply won't get the result. Think of a bell curve, right? So there's a bell curve in the middle of the screen. Right at the top is your 8 to 12 repetitions. So this is this flat section of the bell curve that says between 8 to 12 repetitions you will get the greatest gains in hypertrophy, muscle growth, but less ability and endurance on the one side and strength on the other. If you drop below 8, and the further below 8 you go, down to obviously the maximum of a 1 rep max, you will be building much more strength with minimal hypertrophy. The closer you get to 8, the more hypertrophy crossover you get, but between 8 and 12 reps is the optimum for bigger muscles. 12 over to the 15-20 side builds endurance. You'll get capillarization of the muscles, so if you've got a low body fat, if you're shredded, which will be another video entirely, then you will improve vascularity for when you go down to that, because your muscles work aerobically, which means they need oxygen, which they get from blood. So capillaries are literally drawn in and grow into the muscle to allow it to sort of metabolize oxygen better, so that you can work out for longer. So again, you won't get that big muscle growth, you'll get a different fitness achievement, you'll get endurance. So if you are just going to build muscle and that's all you want to do, work out 8 to 12 repetitions. That is the holy grail. Ignore all other advice. If you want to get strong, lift for less reps and higher weights. If you want to lift for longer, do more repetitions, then obviously lower the weight and do endurance work. But we're talking about hypertrophy here, so 8 to 12 repetitions, that should be between 70 to 80% of your 1 rep max. And that for some reason is the magic number that your body says, hey, the best way I can cope with this stress is to make bigger muscles, not stronger muscles, not faster muscles, but bigger muscles, which is what we want if we want to be a bodybuilder, or we want to just be the best built body on our street. So you've got your reps, you've got your exercises, you've got your sets, and you have got your no, you haven't got your sets. I'll tell you about sets. Between 3 and 5 sets. Essentially, if you're doing hypertrophy work, 8 to 12 reps between 3 and 5 sets. The less reps you do in each set, I say the more sets, and the more reps you do per each set, the less sets. A general kind of that relationship between them. So you're getting the same amount of stimulation, just with different amounts at a time. So if you do 3 reps, then you do like 6-7 sets. If you do 12 reps, you do 2-3 sets, because you're going to do the same amount of repetitions overall. So that is my unyielding advice on designing a kick-ass program, largely for hypertrophy. So here's my quick disclaimer, is just to say, if you have any questions about any aspect of fitness, let me know and I will respond with a video. And this channel is not supposed to be all about weight training and bodybuilding, so I will be putting up my next few videos will be related to other aspects of fitness, whether it be flexibility, endurance, cardio, whatever it may be. I haven't planned it out yet, but come back and check it out. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more, or check out my channel for other fitness videos. Peace.